Hey, what is going on, guys? It's the SS Ultimate Goku back in another video, and we're gonna be talking about a RWBY theory. This is my second one that I've done. The first one didn't really, well, at least go the way I thought it would, but that's why it was a theory. Um, but I do have a new theory that I'm going to be talking about now following the episode 12, The Value of the Spring Maiden. If you guys not have checked out The Value of Spring Maiden, you can go check it out on their official YouTube channel or their website for Rooster Teeth and check all that stuff out and, then go watch my review because I reviewed it on my previous video. But now I'm going to kind of follow up because I do kind of get into this a little bit in my review, but I felt that this warranted like a full actual theory type, grounds, because there's a lot more things I want to cover about this that I didn't really get to talk about in my review. So I felt, well, you know what? This is kind of theory worthy because we're going to get into spoilers, like I said, so if you haven't, get out of the video now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so in the previous episode, the Spring Maiden was officially revealed, which it was not Vernal, it was Raven. This shocked the living crap out of me. Like, it shocked me to the point where I was just like, my mouth dropped, and I was like, what the fuck, I thought we were shocked last week with Weiss potentially maybe being dead, but I was like, wait, what just happened? I was just like, wait, what just happened? Type like shit up in here. So Raven is officially the Spring Maiden. Which, I've watched some videos from some people. I don't remember what their names were, but I think there was this one video I watched where a person tried to justify how Raven being the Spring Maiden made sense, and I was like, I was just thinking to myself after watching that video, I was like, how? No, it didn't make sense at all. And it still doesn't make sense. Um, because Osmond, and Crow, they were close. Like, the fact that Crow didn't know his sister had these powers, to me, I just can't freaking see it. I just can't see the fact of how Crow would not have known about the Spring Maiden powers. I think she got this afterwards. I do not think she had this her entire life, or she had this for a long period of time or whatever. I don't think that at all, because she was supposed to be one of the guardians to the Maidens. So, to me, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe in that theory at all. I think she got the power later on. I think she inherited the power. I think my whole stancing on it is the person that went to train with Raven died, and she inherited the powers. She passed away or whatever, and she inherited the powers. That's what I think happened. That is what I believe happened to the Spring Maiden powers. Is that someone else died and she got the powers. Now, whether if it wasn't, maybe she just got the powers completely off randomness. Like, the person died. Maybe it was that person that died, that that daughter that had died or whatever. Osmond. The person died on a training mission or whatever. Maybe she died and Raven just happened to be the one that was picked to get the powers. It's simple as that, because any person can really get those powers. So maybe at some point that person was confronted by Raven, and because of that, when she died, Raven got the powers. Who knows? But I believe that theory more than the theory that Raven had the powers all along, and she was hiding. Vernal was a decoy. Osmond had like a fake maiden. Train. Like I heard that, I was like, there is no way they thought all that through. I was like, that just doesn't even make sense. Like to keep it away from his her brother. Her brother knows the brother knows everything about Raven except for this. So to me, like, no, this didn't happen that way. Or at least I don't think it happened that way. It would not. It would make even worse sense if that was the case. But the theory is about, okay, what we're going to talk about is about the Maiden Theory, as I like to call it. It's called the Maiden Theory because there are two maidens left that we don't know the identities of officially. And I think there's something to be said about this. Now, on the screen, you see Raven, who's officially the Spring Maiden. You see Winter, and you see Summer. I believe that Summer Rose, Ruby's mother, is the Summer Maiden, and I believe Winter, Weiss's older sister, is the Winter Maiden. Now, some people are going to probably be like, well, the Winter Maiden and the Summer Maiden, well, that just can't be because just because their names are like that. Vernal's meant springs, and she obviously wasn't the Spring Maiden. Turned out not to be the Spring Maiden. But I think that was the point. I think them doing that is going to make people think that Winter and Summer are not the maidens. And also, Summer was stated to be dead. Ruby viewed the tombstone, yada, 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 right? Ruby Rose views the tombstone, so we all just presume Summer is dead, right? I don't think she's dead. Because here's the thing. It was actually stated that her body was never found. Summer Rose's body was never found. So though they have a tombstone of Summer, does not mean she is dead. And you know what? I think she's alive. After what happened, it changes completely my perspective on how the end of this season was going to go. But that's kind of good because now I can kind of like think about it in a different angle. Now, I think Summer Rose is alive, and I think she is the Summer Maiden. I am convinced she is the Summer Maiden, and I am now convinced that Winter is the Winter Maiden. Think about it. She's an ice expert. She's the only one in her family that has rejected her father to the point where she just kind of has gone away from him completely. That got away from him. Obviously Weiss has now done too, but she had been doing it for a long time by this point. So I believe she has a power, and that was another reason why she was able to get away from him so easily. Because she was the Winter Maiden. It makes the logical sense, too. She's powerful and skilled just like Raven. Raven is powerful and skilled without the Maiden powers. Okay? And yet, it's the same thing with Summer. Or not Summer, I'm sorry. It's the same thing with Winter here. Winter, hasn't really used that much, but you can tell she's strong, and you can tell she doesn't need to use the Maiden powers to win fights. It is the same thing with Raven. And though we don't really know that much about Summer yet, I believe it's kind of the same thing with Summer. Summer's kind of a mystery, though, because we really don't know that much about her. A lot of people think she's weak, but I think it's the opposite. I think Summer is actually stronger than all of them. I think Summer is stronger than all of them. She obviously had silver eye, or inherited silver eye, or she had to have inherited something, because that's how Ruby would have gotten her powers. For anyone who doesn't know, Crow technically, Crow is stated to be Ruby's uncle, as Ruby has always stated. Technically, they're not uncles by blood. Okay, because they're Yang and Ruby are half siblings or whatever. So a lot of the techniques that Ruby learned from Crow are not really techniques that per se something maybe Summer would have learned or would have known, because she's kind of a completely different you know wheeler of aura compared to Ruby, or not Ruby, I'm sorry, compared to Raven and Crow, who train completely differently than someone like Ruby, than someone like Summer would. So Summer could have a completely different aura than Ruby altogether in terms of the way she fights, because she was trained by people outside of her families, outside of her like actual bloodline, I should say, because technically they are family too. I'm just saying that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, in terms of that skill level, it would make sense, and it would also make sense to why Summer would fake her death, because with Salem trying to get all the hold of the maidens, it would make perfect sense for her to fake her death, and people wouldn't be able to find her, and they would be trying to look for a spring maiden that's not around. Winter would be in plain sight, but no one would suspect her as the maiden. And to a certain extent, it's kind of the same with Raven, though, like I said, I don't think Raven had it from the beginning. At least that's what I think right now. Is because that's the only thing that would make sense now at this point, based on everything they've stated up to this point. I think, like I said, I think her Raven's whole powers of the Spring Maiden all still, it has to somehow tie in with the daughter dying. I don't know how. Like I said, it could be just completely random and coincidence that she got the powers, or maybe she was fighting her, But it still then wouldn't explain, though, who she trained, because she claimed that she trained someone, or that was what was claimed, was early on in the season, was that it was claimed that she was training someone that didn't know how to use the Spring Maiden powers properly. So it still opens up that theory as well, that there is a possibility that she did train someone that died, and then the powers were then given to Raven. I think this is highly plausible, and it would kind of tie in with everything at this point, because then it would be one of the maidens is Yang's mom, one of the other maidens would be Weiss's sister, and then of course Ruby, Ruby's or not Ruby's mom, Summer, then would be the other maiden, the Summer Maiden. So that's where I'm kind of getting this theory at, is that I think these are the three remaining maidens. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, the one maiden, Amber, who was the original, well, not the original Fall Maiden, but the Fall Maiden that we had at the beginning, the start of the show, before she was fully killed by Cinder, and Cinder took over the Fall Maiden powers. She was probably the only one we didn't really necessarily knew who that was, compared to the other ones. But based on what we've now seen with Raven, being the Spring Maiden, it's highly plausible that the two remaining maidens are people that we actually do know, but we just don't know that they are them. It's highly plausible, and based on the way that they are doing it, it seems to be that way. I truly believe that Winter is the Winter Maiden. Now, I don't know when that's going to be revealed. I don't think we're ever going to know that for a while, because I don't think they're going to want to reveal who the Maiden is by the end of this season, the rest of the Maidens. I think they're trying to do it, slowly. But I think there is a big mystery that's going to be revealed, in terms of where the remaining maidens are and who they are, and maybe we do find out that Summer is alive still at the end of this season, or maybe they'll make us wait longer on that. It will be interesting moving forward on how they do this, if this is actually, where Rooster Teeth is thinking. I'm not sure, and I could be, like I said, I could be wrong about this. I was wrong about my previous theory, and I was wrong about how I thought the season would end. I don't even know where it's going in these last few episodes that are coming out this Saturday, I think. This Saturday, and the other remaining ones whenever they get released. So that's my whole take on this, about the Maiden Theory, on who the remaining maidens are and who they could possibly be. Like I said, they kind of threw us a curveball with Vernal, because Vernal is like kind of like another word for spring, really. So it kind of made sense for her to be the Spring Maiden. It kind of threw us a carveball here. So maybe by doing that, they try to think that, oh, well, we're not going to suspect Winter or Summer, especially since Summer was said that she was dead in the show. But her body was never discovered. So that's what I'm thinking right now, right now, is that I'm thinking that they are planning on those to be the maidens. Especially now with this whole, people can be resurrected in the RWBY universe. That makes it even more kind of convincing. But at the same time, she would have had to have died, which means she can't be the Summer Maiden, so I don't think she's dead to begin with. I don't think Summer Rose is dead. I don't think she's dead now. I'm starting to believe. Well, I'm actually convinced now, after this whole thing with Raven has been revealed, that she in fact is the Spring Maiden, and that she is hiding, and that Winter is the Winter Maiden. And of course, this is just my opinion and my theory. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is possible? Do you think I'm, do you think I got something here, or do you think it's, there's just no way, that this is going to be it? Do you think the remaining mystery Winter and Spring or Summer Maidens are going to be mystery people that we've never met before? Or do you think they are existing characters? Do you think I am onto something with this? What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Comment, rate. If you like this video and you like this theory, give me a thumbs up. It always helps. Like, share. Like I said, always helps. If you like this video or my other videos, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. I'm out of here. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.